What's up guys, hope you're having a very good day today. I wanted to do this quick update because it's been a day since my last update and we've got some news events happening tonight. So I wanted to put some stuff out there to have a look at, just to keep an eye on as we go into those news events. Now, the news event that I'm talking about, of course, is coming up in a few hours from the time that I'm recording this video, and it is this one here, which is the unemployment claims. That is our major thing to be wary of today. We do have Fed Chair Powell speaking tomorrow, but this is our really only concern for the current day that may affect the current price action. So let's take a look at the market overall before we get into that. And I want to take a look at the DXY right now because the DXY has broken through a previous vector range after a W formation that bounced off a prior vector range. And we've had a couple of rises through here now. We've just broken this one, which means we need to go and look where the next one is. And I am just sticking to the 1 hour time frame for now. So if we move up through this area next, we do have a fair few candles in this zone here that are our next area of interest. And we can see here that price is within that range right now. So like with all vectors, as normal, we're looking for price to either break right through it for continuation to the upside or reject underneath it where we would think the move to the upside is over. That's too late because we're already in this one. Or the other potential is to mark around the 50% area of the vector and look for strength or weakness in that 50% zone. So if I mark this out right here, you can see that this candle magically is exactly on that 50% zone now. So keep an eye on this area around the news event. Look, it could break through before that news event comes out because there is still 3 hours at the time of filming this. But yeah, if we do get that break up here, that's not going to be great. We do want to start seeing some kind of rejection now on DXY if we're to see Bitcoin continue to the upside. Now, gold as well has broken down from a prior vector around here, and it's broken down all of the EMAs now, including the 800 EMA. And if we zoom out to the next level of interest, we've really only got this small little zone here that is left to recover. We can see we had multiple touches to it, but we haven't broken through it yet. And then if we do break that, there is another one through right here. And now if we go back to the current price action, you can see this is another attempt at that same remaining part of the blue vector here from the 19th of April. So on gold, we can see we did have an M formation. We had a breakdown, a retrace, a breakdown, a retrace, a breakdown. So we really are looking for it to change structure now, hopefully, or maybe the final third breakdown isn't finished yet. So anytime from now, we're looking for W formations for gold, whether it happens out of here, which you would have expected a stronger move so far. So this doesn't actually look great for it. It may continue down into the next one and then give us a W out of there. But that's another thing to keep an eye on. And when we look at S&P and NASDAQ, they're both very similar price action, and they have finally broken this area of interest, which it rejected at many times. We had a wick here, candles here. It made its way through here, but then rejected back down. Then it created lower highs. Then it couldn't get back into it. And now it's back above. But throughout this entire range here, it held the 800 EMA. So it wasn't changing structure, and it was just multiple attempts until it could obviously get back through there. So that means we now need to go for the next level, which is this candle right here that formed the right side of the head and shoulder initially. And it looks like price is attempting that right now. So again, if it breaks that to the upside, that's going to be good in general for the markets. But I would just be wary that if it breaks it before the news, so within the next few hours, then the news could be the thing that issues a reversal. So just be careful, because when you start to get volatility and fast price action before news events, it's usually the market maker selling to you. So we have to be wary of that. And if you don't get a trade soon, then I wouldn't be taking one, within an hour or so before that news event. You would then have to remember the timing, because remember the three things I go on about it all the time. the pattern, the timing, the levels. Those are the three most important things. So timing wise, if you get your trigger and it's an hour before a news event, you're better off holding off and waiting for that to pass, because it's likely that it's just a setup into that news event and that your trade will probably get wrecked. So now that we know what everything else is doing, DXY's in a spot where we want to see it reject. S&P is in a spot where it looks like it might break through or attempt to break through to the upside. That means we can now go get a closer look at Bitcoin and what is going on there. So if I just zoom out on this is the 1 hour chart. Now I have been playing on the 15-minute for the entire week, but I want to show you the model on the 1 hour chart because it's pretty relevant right now. We can see here that we had 3 hits to the same level over multiple sessions and multiple weeks. That is a reversal pattern right there, and that led to our drop level 1. This was the retrace, which did not break the high of these 3 here. So it came quite close, but it didn't break it. And that led to drop level 2. We had a retrace, which led to drop level 3. So that means that move there to the downside was over, even though it actually ran over close to 2 weeks actually. Then it finished right here with a pretty delicious green looking hammer. So that is your first peak of a W formation. We have the retrace after that, and then we come back for the second side, and this is where people are still feeling bearish. By the way, this whole move here is where people were calling neckline breaks. So if I zoom out to the 4 hour to show you that, there was a lot of retail drawing this kind of move here as a head and shoulder pattern, and depending on how you draw them, some people had a bit of a horizontal neckline here, which is by the way wrong, and others who know how to draw head and shoulders would have had a flat neckline somewhere here. And you can see here that this is the breakdown, this is the retest, induced them to go short, and it's given us a high low at this point in time, W formation, fast move back into the range, stop them all out. So there you go with that one. But let's get back into this actual W formation, because now that you know that, that means that this fast move that happened earlier today has the potential to have already done the damage. And there's a couple of things that concern me right now leading into this news event. Whilst this is a very good looking W because it meets all the criteria, we have a stopping volume candle down here after a 3-level drop, we have our retrace, and on the inside right side you usually see 3 hits to the low that creates a higher low that does not come back and release these people. So I've circled them here. We've got 1 here, 2 here, and 3 here. What I'm circling, just to be clear, is the red vector candles within the inside right side of the W formation, right? That is the market maker hitting the low at speed to get people to think that this right here is a Fibonacci retracement. Look at that, matches up with the 61.8, get more people to go short here, but they don't come all the way back down to final targets, which people who trade fibs, the final target is at the 0 line. So it keeps them trapped, but then it also keeps these people trapped who are waiting for price to come back to break even because they went short at this wick. That's why the wick exists. So they went short at this wick, price moved away, it either liquidated them if they're on high leverage, or they're hanging on by a thread in a pretty big drawdown if they're on, you know, say 50 or 25x, hoping for price to come back to their entry so they can get out at break even. Market maker knows that people won't take a small loss because of ego. So this coming back to here will be close to break even, but not quite. There'll still be some loss. And this is the point that traders convince themselves that, oh, see, I was right. It just pushed up. It's going to come back to break even. I'll get out with no loss. And they don't come back to that level. You don't get released. Then they shift fast out to the other side. So that's essentially what happens in a W formation. That is what the plan is behind the scenes, and also happens in an M formation the other way at the top of a move. Now, the reason that I want to talk about this particular price action right now that is sort of worrying me leading into the news event is because following this move here, we don't have a whole lot of volume come in that has created that right side of the W, and that's a worry because usually you want to see that right side after all of this has happened, which is the perfect part of the start of a W. We want to see powerful move push up to break through here, and we don't have that. And you can see here we actually have declining volume on it too. So it could be that, like I said, this sharp move here was literally the trap to trap those 4-hour head and shoulder time frame traders that are now stopped out of their retests. And once they've trapped them and once they've stopped them out and taken that liquidity, they often then go in the direction that those traders thought price was going to go, right? And so you'll often hear those traders say, oh, I got stopped out and then it went my way. That's why, you know. So not to say that that head and shoulders won't play out from here, but it won't actually be that, because that trade's already invalidated because price moved back up into the range. But it's possible that we could reject here. And the reason that I say that is because of where price is right now. So if you can see here, I haven't really explained these levels on this channel before, but you can see on my chart that I have a level here written IHOD and HOD. These are very significant levels because the first one, the red one, the IHOD, that is marking the initial high of the current day. So the highest point that price went during the Asia session today when the market opened. It does include the dead gap zone, and price at this point in time has not come back there. So we do want to see, once Asia is finished, we do want to see the initial high of the day get broken if we're to have continuation to the upside. So that's very, very important. It's 27,550 kind of level. We really need to break that if we're to expect another rise up to this 800 EMA here, which is at 27,850 kind of level. So it's extremely important that we break that. I don't like at this point in time that we have so many wicks at that level. The other one, the HOD, is yesterday's high of the day. So the highest point that price went on the prior day to the day that you're trading. And that comes from this wick that actually just happened right before the market closed yesterday. That was US's fault. So, and they're very close. The HOD is at 27,466. So I'm going to go with the highest one, the 27,550. I really want to see price break that if I'm to believe that we're going to go up to at least this 800 EMA. And ideally, I would really like to see that before the news event, because if we did, then a retrace isn't going to matter so much, because if you're on the second peak of a W, then you can afford a retrace and you would then expect a third level rise and everything would be fine. So yeah, I just wanted to put this video quickly out there because whilst we've had a nice little move to the upside, we're at a very, very important area right now, and the key for this upside to continue is going to be breaking that 27,550 level. But just keep in mind timing. If it can break it and if it can get back up into this area of interest before the news, then I wouldn't worry about volatility too much throughout the news event. As long as the volatility comes back and creates another higher low, once it's all over, we would expect a third level rise. But the volatility's got to create that higher low, by the way, because then we'd expect rise 3. So looking good so far, but really massive condition is it needs to break the 27,550. Now, if you are wanting to trade this, be sure to grab the link below to OKX. That is my preferred exchange. Check them out, see if you like them. We do have an exclusive TTC OKX offer going on at the moment where you can unlock up to $30,000 in rewards, and you also get 15% discount off your trading fees for life, which certainly add up over time. It is a limited offer, so be sure to grab that soon. And whilst you're down there, check out the other trading tools as well if you're interested. Just want to take a look at the heat maps because I want to see if it supports my idea of price hopefully pushing up to that 800 EMA. Oh, this is nice. 1.4K orders at 27,800, and there's another level at 28, but 27,800. If we go back to there, what does that line up with? Just under the 800 EMA and the area of interest that I've marked out up here, which is the remainder of this vector candle here that has not yet been recovered. So I do like that. It's looking good. We just have to be careful careful of this news event in a couple of hours. So I'm going to leave it there so I can get this video out. Have an amazing day. Sorry again, I have not gone live at all this week, but hopefully once I'm settled in Dubai, we can do some more live videos. But either way, if you learned something in this video, if it helped you, please smash up that like button. Leave a comment down below. Let me know if you caught the long position. Are you long? Are you still short? How are you feeling about price action right now? And if you're not already subscribed, consider subscribing and turn on that bell notification so that you can be notified every time I upload a new video. Have an amazing evening, and I may see you tomorrow, may not, doing some house hunting. So fingers crossed. Bye bye.